in your USB port.
Hold on, we're trying to get a mic.
And then so we should be good. I don't know if anyone can hear us or not. Is there anyone who can? Check two, check two. Can you hear us? This will be fun. Check two, check two. Check two, check two. Can you hear us? No? I don't know. You can? You can hear us? Oh, excellent. Okay. You said late? Oh, yeah, it's going to be a lag. All right. You guys kind of want to hold it or like film and we'll just, because we should be able to see. All right, everybody. We are live at Fox Valley for preseason game 2 of Minnesota White against your team, Illinois 29ers. First game today was a good warm-up game for TI. They lost by a score of 4-1. Early goal by Minnesota White, along with a second period goal, put Minnesota up 2-0, but it was, I got to get the names right, everybody, so I'm going to work through it. But Alex Roberts was able to get a goal to make it 2-1 early in the third period, but Minnesota closed out the game with 2 goals at the end. So my name is Christian Feynman. I'm here with Amy Barnes, and we are going to be getting the games for you live this year as best we can, trying to learn all the names and see if we can help people who can't be at the games to be able to enjoy their family members, daughters, cousins, grandchildren playing hockey here. Amy, you weren't at the first game, but what do you think so far?
I think, first of all, if we do butcher a name, which might actually happen, feel free to approach us and tell us the exact pronunciation that you would like. We'll do our best today with numbers and names. I did watch a little bit on Live Barn, though I thought, it's a good start. We have a little bit of growing to do together, learning each other, learning the positions, our coach being with the team for a while, and we'll have these games, and then we'll have a break on games until Labor Day. So come Labor Day, we'll know exactly what we should be working on based on these games. So I think it's a good thing.
So we'll see if they change everything up, but the early lines that we saw in game 1 were, first line was Tumulty, Byrne, and Bogdan, followed by Piper Murphy, A. Murphy, and Peterson. That's Ava Murphy. Then we had Krataquilova, Sullivan, and again Roberts, who scored the lone goal and started off the season for Team Illinois. On defense, Wolf and Maslin were the first defensive pair, followed by Troncozo and Footy, and then Feynman and Bowles. Arnold was in the goal, so hopefully we'll see Geiger in for this game. So we're about to get started. Again, this Minnesota team was tough this morning. Some great skaters, great goalie play. We didn't get a lot of shots on goal. I was tracking controlled zone exits and entries. We had a lot of success getting the puck out of the zone, but we did not get a lot of controlled entries. We were losing the puck a lot of the neutral zone, not getting the puck deep behind the defense. So we'll see what happens. So right now it's Bowles and Troncozo starting off with Murphy and having a little trouble spotting here. Anyway, Minnesota has the puck now. They're up at the blue line. Puck goes into the far corner. It's behind the TI cage. TI's battling for it. Coming out with the puck is Bowles now. Bowles up the wall and out of the zone, but Minnesota controls it in the neutral zone, and they'll play it back. Minnesota now center ice, and they gain the TI line. TI gets control of it, trying to get it out, but they can't. Now the puck is lifted out of the zone, and here comes TI on the rush. It's Tumulty. She fires, and it's knocked away side of the cage. Puck is behind the Minnesota goal. They have control now. They're trying to get it out, but in the circle, TI comes away with it. The puck still in the far circle. Now up in the slot. There's a shot. It's blockered away by the goalie. Puck is at the far side half wall. Minnesota trying to come out with it, and they do. To center ice, but driven off the puck by Troncozo. And Minnesota still has it. They're across the red line, and they gain the TI zone. Puck careens down into the near side wall. TI has it now. Battling at the near side half wall. And now it's behind the cage. And that was Footy with the puck. She tries to get it up to Murphy. Minnesota has it, though, on the near boards. Minnesota, the puck, there's a shot, but it's taken away. And it's Troncozo now. She brings it out to center ice, and she hits it deep down in the Minnesota zone, and it goes for icing. So 12-20 to go first period. A little bit tough to call the game just because I don't know the players yet, but we'll be right back to you.
Face-off, TI zone in the near dot. Goes out in the corner, can't really see where it's going. It's behind the net. TI is going to grab that. Number 17 taking that. That's a Murphy. I think that's Piper Murphy. Feynman comes in behind. It's still in the neutral zone on the boards. Minnesota makes an entry coming up mid-ice. Gets a shot off, saved by Geiger. So Minnesota came to the middle of the ice, got off a shot low. Geiger is able to grab it. We have Feynman out on defense, and that's the number that I know right now, but we'll get this going. Okay, off the face-off, they're on the boards. That's going to be Byrne battling on the boards. Byrne and Naila. It's taken away by by Minnesota. Minnesota gets it out of the zone, neutral ice, trying to bring it across. Players taking off the puck. Going to have another entry coming in right in the middle. Skates around, gets to the middle of the net. Nice save by Geiger. So a little bit too much space for that skater to come through. Gets a shot off. Nice save.
11:29 to go first period. No score. TI looks a little stronger than they did in the first game, and just playing together, I think. And they're getting their sea legs a little bit. Puck comes out of the zone, but Minnesota controls it in the neutral zone now. It's Byrne now, and Minnesota gains the line. They're in the near boards. There's a shot, whistles across the board, careens over to the far wall. Now behind the cage where it's controlled by TI. And it's coming out neutral ice again. Minnesota has it. We can get it out of the zone, but we're having trouble with our entries, and Minnesota brings it back into the TI zone again. Minnesota's driven off the puck now, and that's going to be Roberts now. Here she comes, and she brings it out. Nice pass. It's tipped, and I thought it was tipped. She sent it over to Tumulty. I thought she tipped the puck, but ref saw it differently, and that's going to come all the way back. So the face-off is going to be in the TI zone in the near circle, and it looks like Ava Murphy's taking the draw. It's controlled by Troncozo, excuse me. She gets it to the wall, and there it is. Here comes Roberts. Roberts now in the TI zone, far circle. She tries to sneak it through, and she was right there, but it's knocked away by the Minnesota goalie. Now TI has control in it. They put it in the slot, and Minnesota is able to knock them off the puck, and Minnesota brings it out. They're through center ice now, and they gain the TI zone on the far side. Minnesota going to the cage, but knocked away off the puck by TI, and now it's going to be Roberts. It's through her skates, and she goes for a change. Come on, girls, get off. That's what we had a little bit of trouble with our changes in the first game. 10 minutes to go, first period, no score still. Minnesota controlling it back in their own zone, and now they'll come on the attack. They gain the TI line near boards. TI drives them off the puck, and now it's controlled at center ice. TI trying to bring it out. They do. No offsides call there. That was a clear one. I think the ref missed that one, and that's going to go for icing. 9:48 to go, first period, no score.
Puck's coming back to the far circle in the TI zone. I think it's Bogdan out at center for the faceoff. Off the faceoff, kicked away by Minnesota at the blue line. Taken away. Puck is loose in middle ice. Gets across the blue line to mid ice. Coming in, that is, who's number 93? Christian, tell me. I see Byrne coming in, charging hard towards the net. Minnesota gets that puck, trying to get it out of the zone. Number 4 gets it in. It's going to be Daly at the blue line, trying to keep it in. They're battling on the boards. Puck is bouncing around in there. It's loose. It's not staying still, but it still hasn't come out. Comes out. Minnesota has it. A cross-ice pass. They're into the neutral zone. Coming up, it's going to be Feynman on D. She forces the girl to the corner. Puck's on the boards. Behind the net. Trying to get that puck out. TI comes out with it. Passes it across ice. Byrne is going to go for that puck. And it is going to be icing.
So 8:41 to go, first period, no score. We'll get some fresh skaters. It's Kratokulova's on the ice. Murphy. That's going to be Piper Murphy. Who else is out there, Aim? Looks like Maslin. Anyway, draws in the TI zone. It goes to the point now. Minnesota has it. There's a shot, doesn't get through. That was knocked away by Kratokulova. Now it trickles back into the Minnesota zone where a Minnesota player loses an edge. And now TI still has it on the near boards. They're battling for it at the near side half wall. And now the puck goes over to the far boards. Wolf is there to stop that play, but Minnesota's going to come out with it. They get it to center ice. Now they're across the red line, and they'll gain the zone on the left wing. Shot, very weak shot on goal, is covered up by Geiger. So 7:58 to go, first period. A lot more controlled play by TI so far. Both teams have had some chances, but there's no score.
Okay, it's going to be, I see Roberts out there. Like I said, still working on those names, so bear with us. It's in the corner, TI zone in the near corner here. Puck comes loose. Minnesota has it, passed in front of the net. They shoot it to the point. Thank goodness they miss it. She's coming in. It's tipped away. There's a shot on the far boards. It's intercepted in the neutral zone. Minnesota bringing it in. We're in the near corner. Pass up the boards. TI is making an exit. Roberts has it. Roberts is going to come in. She's going to try to get to the net. She stops. She tries to pass it in. It goes to D. Troncozo takes a shot wide of the net. Minnesota has the puck. They're making an exit. They get across that blue line, neutral ice right now. Bringing it in the near boards. Stopped by our D. Nice play. Oh, penalty is called. Not sure what the call is.
So an interference call. In the first game, they were letting some of that physical play go, but it's going to be Troncozo who goes to the box for the first penalty of the season for TI. 6:58 to go, first period, 1:30, and we have Feynman and I can't see number 4. Foodie and Bogdan are out on the killers. Minnesota has it in the far circle. There's a shot, doesn't get through. Nice stick there by Bogdan. And the puck is in the corner now. Minnesota's fighting for it. 1 minute and 9 seconds to left on the power play. Minnesota has it now. They're in the near side half wall. They try to bring it down, but they didn't have any structure. Now they get into the slot. Now in the near circle, skating around. It's back to the point now. Now it's to the far side point. There's a shot knocked away by Geiger, and here comes T.I. They knock it down into the zone, and it's going to be Cantwell first on it. Cantwell keeps it in, and Minnesota has this. Bogdan now. She gets it to Footy. Footy takes it, but it's lost. Minnesota has it now, and they'll bring it out. They bring it to center ice, trying to gain the TI zone, and they finally do in the near side. Minnesota has it, looking for some structure, but they're disorganized, dancing with the puck at the near point. They try to get it back down. Feynman shovels it out to center ice, and Minnesota will collect it in the neutral zone and regroup. There's a misplayed puck. Here comes T.I. There's a backhand shot, and it's knocked away by the goalie. Now the power play's over. Both teams are at full strength. And T.I. has it behind the cage. They're looking. Punch it up the wall. Feynman has it. She puts it back down. It's Bogdan who had it, and now Minnesota has it. They try to come away with it, and they bring it out to center ice across the red line, and they gain the TI zone. Nifty play by Minnesota player. It's behind the cage now. TI is trying to get some structure. There's a shot. It's knocked away by Footy. Great stick, and it's Bogdan who has it. She gets it to Peterson, who lost an edge, and T.I. gets caught in a change. There's a shot. Nice save by Geiger, and T.I. trying to get it out, but they can't. It's at the far boards behind the goal. Two players go careening to the floor, but no call. Molson is fighting there, and now the puck goes to the far side half wall. It's taken by Wolf. Wolf had it for a second, but she lost it. Minnesota has it now. They're in the near circle. They try to play it back to the point, but they can't. It's in the near corner now. Minnesota still has it, circling with the puck. Somebody that needs to get in the slot. There was a Minnesota player open for a second. Minnesota at the near point. Play it down to the half wall again, but T.I. is all over that, smothering them. Minnesota can't get anything going right now, but they've had a lot of offensive zone time. Now T.I. is coming up. It is Kreta Quilova. She has it, and she puts it down into the Minnesota zone. It's in the near corner now. T.I. trying to control it, but Minnesota drives them off the puck. Now it's behind the cage. T.I. player goes falling down. That was Peterson. But Minnesota has it now. They're trying to bring it out. They're being hectored. They get it across the blue line, and now they gain the T.I. zone, but they're knocked off the puck. And here comes T.I. with numbers. Can't get it through the neutral zone, though. That was Maslin. Woo, we're going to get this together. That was Alyssa. 3:16 to go, first period, no score.
I'm going to start using some first names here. So we have Murphy, and I don't know who's on the wing yet. So troncozo out on the play, and I see they're going to get an entry here for Minnesota. Minnesota comes into the far boards. It's taken away. Player loses the puck. T.I. making a charge. We're at neutral ice. Coming in. Who's that? Oh, Caroline. Yeah, we'll get that last name for sure. They're on the boards. T.I. trying to keep it in, trying to get something going here. It goes to the corner. We don't have a T.I. player there. Minnesota trying to get out. It goes up the boards. Kicked by a Minnesota player. It goes to the middle. Minnesota can come out with it there across neutral ice. Nice play there. Nice D. That was Shelby. Minnesota has it behind the net. They take it to the point. Player comes in. Still with the puck. Blocked. Nice D by T.I. They're in the near boards trying to get the puck out of the zone. Minnesota has it charging towards the net. It's net front. Geiger hops on top of that puck. Nice play. Olivia Geiger having a great game so far. Not quite sure how many saves she has going, but we have 2:12 left to play. And the score is still 0-0 here. So we have Roberts coming out. We have Ruby Jane out on D, because I know she's number 4. So off the face-off, puck still loose. They're battling on the boards. TI trying to come out with it. Goes to the neutral zone. Roberts hectoring a player there. So Minnesota shoots it on the far boards. TI has it right now. Goes behind the net to Feynman. Puck is loose. It's going to be grabbed by Bogdan. Bogdan is going to come up. She takes it. She's trying to get it to Roberts. Might be on net here. There's a player there. Ice is waved off. Minnesota has the puck behind their own net. TI trying to keep it in. Roberts on the board. Nice battle. So the puck's at a little bit of a stall there. Still battling for the puck. It squirts out. It's going to be in front of the net. Minnesota's taking it in front of their own net. Player backs around behind the net, taking a little time, keeping it in their zone. TI needs to take advantage of this and steal it from them while it's still in the Minnesota zone. Coming up the boards, goes to neutral ice. Feynman gets it. She knocks it back up. Minnesota has it. Still can't get it past neutral ice. So Ruby Jane and Feynman combined for a nice defensive play. It goes back out to neutral ice. Minnesota's got to come out of the zone. Less than a minute left to play in this first period. Bogdan has it. She's across the blue line. She's still on it. It's going to come up. It's coming up the boards. Minnesota trying to get it. TI takes that away neutral ice. That's offsides.
So 41.6 to go in the first period. It's been back and forth. I'd have to call this even. A lot better poise for TI. Wolf is out there with Maslin, Cantwell, and Quilova. Anyway, puck goes back down into the TI zone. Wolf will control that behind her own cage. She's fought off the puck by a Minnesota player, but it's controlled by TI coming across. And now battling behind their own cage are 2 TI players and 2 Minnesota players, and TI comes away with it. And it's going to be Cantwell. Cantwell brings it out. She's across center ice now, and she gains the Minnesota line in the near boards. Puts a shot. It's sticked away by the Minnesota goalie. Minnesota has control of it again. A lot of one and done, and that's going to do it for the period. A lot of one and done for TI. They can't get really any sustained offensive zone time. Minnesota has done a better job of that. Certainly, I don't know what the possession time is, but it was a hard-fought first period. TI was fast. They were on the puck. They were aggressive. Lots of good physical play. Much better response by the defenders and keeping the Minnesota players from being comfortable in the offensive zone. So I would have to say it's a better overall first period.
Troncozo at the end? Huh? Troncozo. Yep.
Troncozo. Yes, I think I said that right a few times. Yeah. Anyway, so here we go. What did you think of that first period, Aim?
I thought TI came out with a strong defense. We still need to work on, like you said, keeping it in our own zone. Even though Minnesota had it, they weren't able to put a play together to score a goal. So they had too much time in their own zone. But I think TI, overall, from what I could see from the first game, like I said, I was watching it on Live Barn, it seems like they're playing together. And you just see, little strides of the girls working together, getting to know each other. And so I thought it was a good first period.
Yeah, they're definitely playing connected, which I like to see. Defensive players are activating, and when they get the puck, joining the rush. People are covering. Offensive players are covering for them. So it's been good to kind of see that play. So we're coming out here for the second period. Of course, second period is when you have the long change. TI did a good job in the first game during the long change. I thought that was our best period change-wise. So Peterson is out there with Tumulty, Troncozo, Bowles, Ava Murphy taking the draw, and the puck is on the ice now in the neutral zone still. Minnesota has it, and they take it to TI line in the left wing. There's a shot, a Whistler blocker save by Geiger. Now struggling to get it out of the zone is TI, and it's going to be controlled there by Bowles. Bowles to center ice. Peterson had it for a second, but she lost it. Minnesota regroups, and now here they come on the attack. They can't get it through the neutral zone, and that's going to be Tumulty now with the puck. She's had a nice game. Lots of touches, lots of control. Minnesota gains the line, though. They sneak through. There's a shot, and Geiger with a great save. Great save there as a Minnesota player leaked through. Now Minnesota tries to put it in the slot, but they can't, and the puck is almost poked into the near corner. Nice pass to center ice, but unable to control it is Tumulty. Again, she's calling her name a lot this game. Minnesota collects it in the neutral zone, and now they'll attack again. They gain the TI line in the right side. Puck careens over to the far boards now. Nice help by the ref, and here comes TI on the attack across center ice. Troncozo, I think that was with the puck. And now Peterson is down. I might have had that name wrong, but we'll see. Nope, it was her. Minnesota coming back on the counterattack. They take the red line. Now they gain the TI line up the slot. There's a shot. It's in Geiger's pads. Got caught in her pad for a second. She didn't know where it was, and it fell out right in front of her, and it's covered up. 12:33 to go, second period, no score.
All right, line change, complete line change. So I think it's Murphy, Roberts, and Bogdan out. And then it's going to be Feynman and Ruby Jane out on D. So off the face-off, Minnesota has it. They're in the near corner. Feynman going back behind the net, trying to hold the player there. Player shoots it up the boards. Minnesota has it, skating around, trying to get around a player. Too much time. Puck goes up. That's going to be Roberts. Roberts racing for the puck. Two players on her. She gets there, she tips it forward. She had no one there to help her. Minnesota trying to come in on the near boards. Puck's taken away by Roberts. Goes to Minnesota. Neutral zone right now. Feynman and Ruby Jane back. A shot gets off. Blocked away by Geiger. Goes to the corner. Player gets another shot off. That's net front. Knocked away. Bogdan coming out with it. She's going to take it across. She's racing up using her speed. Oh, offsides. Roberts couldn't get out of the zone. So Bogdan was trying to make an entry. It came across that line before Roberts could get out. So another line change. Let me see if I can get this line before I hand this over. So we're going to have Wolf out there with Alyssa Maslon back on D. And we have Ella Sullivan, Nila Kradakilova. I'll get that right one of these days.
Nice stick.
And then nice stick by Sullivan there. And then Daly Byrne is also out there. Player coming through. It's blocked away. It goes back behind the net. Wolf giving chase to the corner. Gets there with the Minnesota player. It's on the near boards. Minnesota has it. Oh! So Minnesota takes a shot from the point. There's some net front action, and it's tipped in by a player in front of the net. Geiger really didn't have a chance with that one. So score now 1-0. But heads are up. TI just needs to come back with a goal.
Yeah, 11:07 to go, second period. And really a great chance there by Minnesota to score that goal. It was tipped in. Might have been a high stick, but only by inches if it was. Ref certainly isn't going to make that call. Minnesota gains the line again, but they're driven off the puck now. And here comes TI. They bring it out to the neutral zone. And that is Byrne, I think. Puck is back in TI territory. Here goes Kratoquilova now. And the puck gets into the Minnesota zone, but Minnesota knocks us off again. Here comes Minnesota through center ice, and they gain the TI line up the middle. Nice back check there by Byrne. Byrne all over the ice right now, and she goes for a change. TI has it, and some fresh skaters on the ice. It goes back to Murphy. Murphy pushes it down into the Minnesota zone. She's given chase. It's in the far circle now. Minnesota lifts it to center ice, and they had a cheater behind. Here comes Minnesota, 1-0, and shot in a score. So I don't know what happened there. A defender lost their coverage, and the Minnesota player got behind the defense, came right down, and with 10:06 to go in the second period, they're up 2-0. So the long change might have fooled some of our players. So Feynman and Footy back. It's going to be Ava Murphy taking the draw with Tumulty and that far side player, Amy. Who is that, Byrne? Oh, that is Cantwell. Minnesota has the puck to center ice now. They are across the red line, and they gain the TI line on the far side. Feynman in the corner. She drives the player off the puck. Now it's to the point. Minnesota brings it to the near side point. Now it's back in the far circle. There's a shot, and Geiger with a great save. 9:42 to go, second period. Still 2-0 Minnesota.
So we're going to have a face-off, far circle, TI zone. Murphy down for that face-off. Feynman battling in the corner. Gets loose. Ruby Jane coming in to help. Skater goes around the back of the net. We're kind of near the blue line. Cantwell gets a steal. Chipped out into the neutral zone. Nice heads-up play. Minnesota's going to take it right back in. Feynman stops that girl from turning the corner. Cantwell on the boards, battling back and forth for the puck. Minnesota has it, goes across ice into the near corner, TI zone. Back behind the net. Passing it back and forth. Here we go. Minnesota has it in the corner, takes it up to the point. D has it. Cross ice D pass, taken to the middle. Goes towards the boards. Goes back to the D player. From the corner, shot is blocked, goes behind the net. One TI player to two Minnesota player taking off the puck. D has it. Shot is blocked. Feynman tries to catch that. It bounces in front of her. We're going to make an exit here. So we have Carolyn making an exit and an entrance. Trying to get position. She's on the board. She looks like she's hooked.
No call.
Yeah, finally a call. The ref on the far away from the play makes that call. Calls a hook. Nice job. That penalty was a total result of Carolyn hustling. So TI is going to be on the power play. Who's going to be out on the power play? It's going to be Bogdan, Wolf, Maslin. Let's see, who else is out there? McKinley Peterson, Molly Bogdan. I can't see who the third offensive player is. That's going to be Nila Kratakulova.
Kratakulova. So Wolf and Molson back. Maslin are back on defense with Peterson and Bogdan and looks like Murphy. So the puck now into the near corner, and TI trying to get it out. Minnesota still has it behind their own cage. Now TI controls it. TI looking for some space. It's going to be Wolf in the near side. Wolf coming down the wall. She brings it down into the near corner. Now in the circle. Nice passing by TI. I like the structure on this power play. Now it's back into the far circle. It's going to be now puck in the slot. There's a backhand and a pad save by the Minnesota goalie. TI still has it now. 45 seconds to go on the power play, and it's lifted to center ice. And here comes TI now on the shorthanded, and a shot hits the top bar right over Geiger's glove side hand, and that could have been a goal. And now here comes Bogdan. She's driven off the puck in the neutral zone, and here comes Minnesota again. They had the puck in the near circle, and now back into the near corner, and we're going to get another TI penalty. And that's going to be on Wolf. And, you know, the Minnesota player goes into the boards. Wolf was being aggressive and just a little bit too high. That Minnesota player fell, and it looked like Wolf was cross-checking her high, but I don't think that was a penalty. I just thought that was good hockey. So teams are even now, 24 seconds left on the original Minnesota power play, or Minnesota penalty, I should say. So we're 4-on-4. Minnesota has it in the slot. Now it's to the near point. Minnesota player tries to play it in the slot, but it's knocked away by T.I. That's going to be Bogdan now. She's facing the player. Puck goes to the near point. Minnesota now trying to play it across ice. And it's going to be Peterson. A little bit slow getting there, but now she has it, and she'll bring it out. She's at center ice, and she plays it off the wall. Knocks over a Minnesota player. That should have been maybe interference on the Minnesota player, but she just crumpled. Now Minnesota on the counterattack. It's taken off. They're driven off the puck by T.I. Minnesota regroups in the neutral zone. They are across the red line, and they're going to take the T.I. line in the far circle. 35 seconds on the man advantage for Minnesota, and that was on the offsetting penalties. And now here comes Quilova. She backhands it, a nice save by the Minnesota goalie. Quilova brought that in. She was at the end of a long shift, so she was a little tired. Didn't get a lot on that shot, and it was on her backhand. So 6:01 to go, second period, 2-0 Minnesota, 22 seconds left on the power play.
Okay, we have Ruby Jane and Feynman out there. Roberts and Byrne on offense. Roberts takes the face-off. It goes to the corner. Minnesota passes it back behind the net, trying to get it out of the zone. Nice play by Daly Byrne. She takes that player right off the puck. They're trying to keep it in. Roberts helps her out. Still not out of the zone. Still in. Byrne and Roberts tag team. It goes across the ice. 5 seconds on the power play. Penalty kill for us. Shot comes in. Geiger makes a nice save right in her chest. Although it was right in her chest, but she lost it for a second, but kept it covered. So the penalty is now over. 5:36 left to play. We're in the second period. The score is 2-0. Minnesota is up. Off the face-off, that is Nela Kratakalova. So it's neutral ice right now. Nice. Byrne takes a steal. She's got a chance. She's trying to keep a player off. She's hustling. Minnesota got to it first, but just barely. Minnesota trying to take it out. It's kept in by Feynman. Nice keep using your skates. She takes it back behind the net. There's a battle on the boards right here. Trying to get position. Roberts is there. Roberts comes out with it. It goes to Feynman. Feynman, tries to get a shot off. It's blocked. Ruby Jane tries to get a shot and get it center, but it never makes it to the net. So, nice stick by Ruby Jane. Ruby Jane's got an entry. She's got one there. Ruby Jane, she's going to take it center. Ruby Jane in. Yeah! She knocks it in! Ruby Jane puts the biscuit in the basket! Nice goal for T.I. She takes it high. I think she took it stick side high, right?
Yeah, she took it stick side high, and she rang the triangle on that one. It hit the left post, it hit the top bar, and just dinner belled in. So with 4:39 to go in the second period, T.I. puts the biscuit in the basket, and it's 2-1. So down a goal, we have Tumulty, we have Wolf, we have Bull. I think it's Bowles. No, it's Maslin. And now Wolf has it. She plays it up the boards. And here comes Tumulty. Again, she's having a great game. She had somebody, she tries to slide it in, and it just crawled up the goalie pad and right into her lap. So that was a good chance for her. Tumulty was bringing that down. It was a 2-on-1. And I think she had on the far side, I can't see who that player is. It looks like Sullivan she had there. But anyway, nice save by the goalie. And here comes Minnesota now. And it is Oh, there's a nice play. Nice pad save. Glove save. First on the pad and then on the glove by Geiger. So 4:06 left to go, second period. 2-1 Minnesota, but TI is able to get a goal to cut this to a 1-goal lead.
So Bogdan, Cantwell, and Murphy out on offense. And then it's going to be Shelby, Troncozo out on D, along with, I think that's Sabina. Sabina and Shelby are D partners today. So it's back behind the net. 2 TI players there. Minnesota comes out with it. Cantwell tries to get on it. It goes to the defender at the blue line. Cross-ice pass. Goes back behind the net. Right up the boards. Minnesota has it on the boards. Puck comes loose. Minnesota gets it back. Minnesota player Shelby. Nice defensive play there. Puck is still loose. TI trying to come out with it. Neutral ice. Minnesota has it. Cross ice pass. Trying to get it in the zone. Kicked off a player's skate. It was offsides. So 3:13 left to play. The score is 2-1. TI down 1 with a little bit of momentum go. So we have a change. It's going to be Feynman. Feynman is coming out with
Footy.
Yep, Ruby Jane. I'm going to say Ruby Jane because I'm not sure if it's Fuddy or Foodie. Right? Passing it over to Chris. Peterson and Berner out on wings. Kratakalova is out at center.
And Minnesota has it now. They play it back into their own zone, looking for some structure. They're in the neutral zone, and they gain the TI line on the far side. And there's a nice play by Footy, but it's not out of the zone. There's a shot, and TI player got a stick on it, lifts it harmlessly into the near corner. And now they play it to the point. There's a shot, and it almost sneaks through. I don't think Geiger saw that one until the last minute, but she made a nice save. Minnesota keeping it in the zone. TI having a tough time getting it out. It's to the half wall, now in the circle, and a shot doesn't make it through, but TI can't get on it. And there's a nice play now by Kratakalova. She gets it to center ice, and it looked like that was touched by Peterson. It's going down into the corner now, no icing. Minnesota has it in their own zone. They played up the near wall, and now they'll bring it out, and a nice play by Footy to keep it in, but Minnesota still has it. Footy has it now. There's a little bit of a back and forth going on in the neutral zone on the near side, and battling for it, 3 Minnesota players and 2 TI players. And now coming in is Ava Murphy. Feynman gets it to center ice, but couldn't control it there. That was Byrne. And now the puck is on the near boards at the blue line, and now it squirts out, and it's going to be controlled by TI in the Minnesota zone. That's Murphy. Murphy is crunched in the corner. Minnesota comes away with it. They play it up the wall, and now they'll bring it out. Minnesota across center ice now. They gain the TI zone. Pad save by Geiger. 1:58 to go, second period. 2-1 Minnesota. But it looks like TI is picking it up a little bit. Feynman with a nice play, but Minnesota still has it. Now the puck is down. It's at the point, and now a misplayed puck. And here comes Peterson. She shoots. Oh, and it's knocked away by the Minnesota goalie at the last minute. I think that puck rolled on her a little bit. And now Minnesota trying to bring it out there behind their own cage. They play it to the near side half wall, and now they bring it out to center ice. Another kind of misplayed puck. And Minnesota, oh, how did that sneak through? Minnesota player backhands it. Nice save by Geiger with 1:14, 1:13 to go in the second period. So a breakaway by TI, but they couldn't convert on it. A nice play in the neutral zone, but they weren't unable to stop a Minnesota rush with 1:13 to go second period, 2-1 Minnesota.
Okay. I think it's Cantwell, Roberts, Wolf, and Maslin are on D. So that's going to be Roberts coming out. Roberts tries to get past a Minnesota player. 6 out at neutral ice. Minnesota has it. Gets it past the blue line. Wolf steps up. Shot goes high. Minnesota has it going back behind the net. Wolf now has it behind the net. She reverses directions. Let's go to Maslon. Maslon's got to tip it up the boards. She tries to get it to Roberts. Roberts takes it, trying to get it out of the zone. Cross ice pass into traffic. So neutral ice. Oh, looked like offsides to me. But what do I know? Minnesota coming in, takes a shot. Geiger right in glove save, right in her chest. So 36 seconds left in the second period. Troncozo and Bowles come out on defense. We have Bogdan at center. Bogdan goes down for the face-off. Puck is loose. Minnesota has it, gets it to the corner. Coming around, that's Shelby. Reverses direction. Roberts chasing. Minnesota has it. Knocked off the puck, still has it. Blocked away by Geiger, trying to get it up the boards. T.I. trying to get it out of the zone, goes across ice. Troncozo is coming up, tries to get it in. It's going to be Bowles back.
All over the ice.
Shelby gets at neutral ice, gets it to Roberts. Roberts can't get it off her stick. We're at neutral ice. We got 3 seconds. That's the end of the first period. The score is Minnesota 2 and your TI 1. So we have 14 minutes to get it together, Chris, and score a couple goals here.
Right at the end of that, Troncozo with some great defensive play, a lot of urgency, a lot of hustle there, but unfortunately, TI couldn't get any opportunities. So we got 14 minutes to go. We need 2 to win, 1 to tie, and we need to hold this Minnesota team. Much better showing here for TI than in the first game. But TI finds themselves in the same situation that they did earlier. 2-1 now going into the third period, and it was in the third period in the first game that Minnesota scored twice. So coach is probably telling them, hey, we need that same amount of effort. One of the things that she said in the locker room after the first game was that the effort wasn't there. So we'll see what happens in this third period. You know, we've been conditioning, Aim, so there's no reason that these girls are going to get tired or should slack off against this Minnesota team.
That's right, and that's one of the things I think coach has been talking about in these few weeks that they've had together. Is just like in the third period, who's going to rise to the challenge? Who's going to have their legs? Who's going to be hustling in that third period?
All right, so Troncozo and Bowles back on defense with Murphy, Kratokulova, and who's that far side winger, Aim? Can you see the far side winger? Oh, yeah, it's Sullivan. Sullivan, Kratokulova, and Murphy with Bowles and Troncozo. And so here we go. 14 minutes to go. Minnesota controls it back in their own zone, in the neutral zone, and a nice play by Sullivan to knock that back in. Minnesota controls it. Sullivan's there again. And now it's Kratokulova. She fires, and it's just wide of the net. And it's Troncozo coming up the wall on the near boards to keep that in. And the puck goes back down. Minnesota has it. They try to play it behind their own cage. And now they bring it to the near board. Sullivan is right there. Minnesota lifts it harmlessly through the neutral zone, back into the TI zone. TI will control it. It's Troncozo. She loses the puck, but she's able to reverse it and bring it to Bowles. Bowles looking. She tries to get it out. It's knocked into a Minnesota player. Now Minnesota is going to lob it back down, and they'll go for the forecheck and a change. Troncozo has it, looking for some space. And now she winds it around in her own zone into the near boards. Minnesota, with fresh skaters on the ice, is able to keep it in. TI needs to get it out and go for a change here. 12:52 to go for the game. 2-1 Minnesota. Minnesota has it now in the near circle. There's a shot. It's tipped by a couple of Minnesota players, but Geiger was all over that. Troncozo has it. She tries to lift it up, and she does, out to the neutral zone. TI goes for a change. And they get fresh skaters on the ice. It's Feynman and Foodie back. And now puck goes, and it's taken by Feynman. Feynman tried to put it back in. I think that's going to be an offsides. Feynman had it, and she just tried to push it back in, but she couldn't. So Byrne now with Murphy and Roberts. No, Peterson. Peterson has it now. She brings it into the Minnesota zone, and now Minnesota has it. They lift it to center ice now, but it's Murphy who has that for a second. And the hustle is here by T.I. You can tell that they want this. It's in the neutral zone now on the far boards, and Minnesota comes away with it. Now Minnesota gains the T.I. line. Feynman on the player there. Feynman still down deep now, and then Feynman's going to have it in her own zone. She tries to push it up the wall, and it's to the half wall. And now the puck goes to the far side. Minnesota will have it, and there's some pressure, and now it's taken by T.I. They try to lift it to the line, but not out. Footy has it now. She lifts it up, and it's misplayed by a Minnesota player. It was Peterson who tried to play it high off the glass and out, but she couldn't. There's a shot, and a glove save by Geiger. So 11:20 to go, third period, 2-1 Minnesota. I'd like to see T.I. strike first before Minnesota gets any good chances here.
So we're going to have Roberts, Murphy, and Cantwell out there. Wolf and Maslon on D off the faceoff. Net front gets a shot off Minnesota, blocked away by Geiger. Puck's at the blue line. It goes back behind the net. Wolf has that in her skates. She's trying to come out with it. She's behind the net, battling with a player. Puck comes loose on the far boards. Bogdan has that. Maslon tries to take a player off the puck. Player comes out with it, gets it in front of the net. Nice stick. Goes across the ice. Wolf tries to get there. Skater goes around her. That's going to go in front. Shot goes wide. Goes back up the boards. Minnesota has it right now. Bogdan has it. Interference there. Player has it net front. The puck is around. Geiger makes a nice save. Still battling. The puck's still loose in front of the net. Shot goes high. It goes to the corner. T.I. needs to get this out of the zone. So on the boards right now, can't see exactly what's happening. That puck is too much time in front of the net. Wolf trying to make an exit here. Wolf has it. She's coming up the boards. She gets that puck deep. She's still coming after it. It's in the corner. Minnesota has it. Player falls. No trip there. The player just lost her footing. Player trying to come up the boards. And there's a slash called. I'm not sure where that is. Roberts is going to the box. I didn't quite see that happen, but so T.I. is going to be on the penalty kill right here.
Troncozo, Bowles, Cantwell, and Kratokulova. Power play for Minnesota. They bring it across to the far side. Now they try to go cross ice into the near circle, but it's knocked away by T.I. And now the puck is out of the zone to central ice, and it goes back into the Minnesota zone where they'll collect it and they'll try again. So 1:10 left on the man advantage for Minnesota, and here they come trying to gain the T.I. line, and they do, but it was Kratokulova who knocked him off the puck. Minnesota has it now. They're in the far circle. Now they play it down into the far corner. Minnesota still has it. It's up at the far half wall now, and now they play it to the far point. Far point, they try to slide it across. It's at the blue line, but it went out, and the ref was right there. Great call by the ref. And with 45 seconds left on the man advantage for Minnesota, the face-off will be at the dot right outside of the T.I. zone on the near side dot. So puck's in neutral ice now. Minnesota trying, and it was Kratokulova who lost a stick. Is she being called for interference now? Oh no, it was a Minnesota player who knocked the stick out of her hand, and she gets called for an interference. So with 41 seconds left on the TI penalty, we'll be at 4-on-4, and then TI will have a power play for approximately 49 seconds. And now there's a shot, doesn't get through, and that was Bowles who took that shot. Now Minnesota's going to come away with it in their own zone. They try to lift it down the ice, and they do. Bowles has it. Bowles in her own zone. She's being hectored by a Minnesota player, but she plays it up the wall now, and then she's going to go after it herself. Bowles has it. She fires just wide. It's picked up by Troncozo on the near boards now. She's fighting, and she keeps it in. She's had quite a game, and she gets it. Minnesota brings it out to center ice, and TI gets caught in a little bit of a change. That was Footy who was able to come in for the change and make a nice play to drive Minnesota off the puck and stop a rush. Now Roberts is back. TI's at full strength. They have a power play for about 40 seconds. There's a shorthanded shot by Minnesota. Geiger was all over that. And now TI has it in their own zone. They'll try to get a little structure, and there's another chance by Minnesota. But now we got it. Bogdan has it. She gets it out. Nice cross-ice pass to Murphy. Murphy in the Minnesota zone. Murphy trying to get control. Needs some structure. 19 seconds left. And there's a score! There's a score! It was Bogdan with 16 seconds left on the power play. 7:45 to go for the game, and she puts the biscuit in the basket to knot this game up at 2. So, TI in the second game of the season puts their first cricket number on the board, and they knot this game up at 2-2. Feynman and Footy in with
Roberts, Bogdan, and Murphy. Bogdan down for the center faceoff. A little bit of momentum here, a little bit of fire in the belly. Minnesota has it. Taken deep. Bogdan's going to be there. Trying to get that puck out there in the corner. Bogdan has it. She's trying to get that out. Minnesota has it. It's going lots of back and forth. That puck makes it out to neutral ice. No one can find it. Minnesota finds it. It goes back to Roberts. She's going to have a little... Oh, Roberts is taking out. Feynman comes. Feynman takes a shot. That shot goes high. Goes back to the boards. Minnesota at neutral ice. The puck was taken away. They had some momentum going, but they couldn't get into the zone cleanly. So we're at center ice. Murphy tries to steal that puck. Wolf is on at D.
Wolf.
Taking off the puck. Who's number 17? Coming up the ice, TI. Trying to make a play here. So it's going to be Wolf and Maslin back on D. 17 is Murphy, I believe. So Minnesota comes across ice. Maslin.
Kratokulova is back.
Yep. Kratokulova. Shot taken from the blue line. Nice strong shot, but right in the gut of Olivia Geiger. Sometimes it's hard getting the names of everybody. Like I said, it's coming. So we got Maslin and Wolf back on D. We have Kratokulova at center. And with her, I believe, is Murphy and Sullivan, if I'm not mistaken. So TI trying to get a pass out. It's at center ice right now. Battling on the boards. Kratokulova, Maslin trying to get that out to go TI's way. Minnesota comes out with it. They're back in their own zone. Off the stick of a player. Still trying to get it out of their zone. They get it across ice for a zone entry. TI trying to get it. It goes towards the net. Geiger is not really a shot, but kind of slid down the ice. But Geiger right on top of that. So we're going to go for a change here. It's going to be Byrne. Who's out there with Byrne? So off the face-off, shot goes wide of the net. That's going to be Troncozo behind the net, battling. That means Bowles is out there on D with her. I see Burns' purple helmet at the moment. They're in the corner battling. Shot goes off by Minnesota. Bowles in the corner. It's back behind the net. It almost looks like a power play here, Chris, except we're not on a power play. Shot from the blue line, goes wide. Bowles hustling to the corner. 2 Minnesota players behind the net, taken away. Looks like Bogdan there. Roberts trying to come out with it. Puck is taken by a Minnesota player in their own zone. It's at neutral ice. They're trying to come up the boards. We're on the near boards. Can't really see what's happening with the puck. It goes loose. It's going to be Bogdan and Roberts hustling to that puck. Minnesota's going to get there first. Roberts hecting the player. There's a shot. It goes wide of the net. Bounces. It's just kind of waiting there. Bogdan gets tripped up. Minnesota comes out with it. Ruby Jane trying to stop that player. Minnesota coming in. Nice play by Troncozo there. She keeps a body on that player. So we're coming up the ice. Looks like Robert's going to get it deep and go for a change. Ruby Jane hustling in. I see Cantwell is out there. Troncozo is back. It's in the corner. T.I. trying to make a play here. They're going to come out with it. Sullivan comes out with it. That's not Sullivan, that's 12, right? Is it? Goes across ice. That's Sullivan. Sullivan's 2. Minnesota trying to come across ice. Sullivan, Hector's Earth, takes a player into the boards. No penalty is called. We're at neutral ice now. Minnesota gets an entry, goes towards the net. It's going to be Feynman hustling back for that puck. She takes it, shoots it across ice behind the net. There on the boards, it goes to neutral ice. Nobody's there. We had a change. Coming in as a player. Going to get a shot. Glove save. So that player was able to skate right up the middle. Someone needs to put a body on her. There are 2 players and nobody put a body on her.
Yeah, I mean, goalie could see that, though, and Geiger made a good save. She's been hot. So, Kratokulova, Roberts, Feynman, Footy, and now here comes a Minnesota player trying to come in, but the shot goes wide. Puck careens on to the near side half wall. Minnesota's still trying to play it. It's in the slot, and it's taken away. Here comes Footy looking now. She tries to get it. Feynman had it for a second. I'm sorry, that's Footy. Feynman now playing it, looking up the wall. She tries to lift it up, and she can't. And now there's a battle for it, and it's going to be taken by T.I. T.I. tries to lift it. There's a nice play by Kratokulova, and first on that is Tumulty. She had it for a second, but here comes Minnesota now. They bring it out of their zone. 2:30 to play for the game now. And there's a shot, goes wide. Feynman was back on defense. Wolf has it. Wolf looking in the corner, and now here comes T.I. trying to control it just outside of their grasp. And now it's into Feynman's skates, and she's playing with a T.I. player on the wall, and Wolf has it again. Wolf now in the corner. She's looking. Minnesota fighting, and it's going to be Roberts who had it, but Minnesota's able to keep it in. Wolf is battling, and now the puck goes across, and it was Kratokulova who tried to hit Feynman, but actually put it softly into Geiger's glove. 2:01 to go for the game, 2-2. Face-off is going to be in the TI zone in the near circle, and it is going to be Bogdan taking the draw. Puck is on the ice now. TI had it for a second, and there's a trip. The referee has his whistle in his shirt. He missed a call there. Wolf had it for a second. She plays it up the wall on the far side. It's in the corner now. Minnesota trying to come away with it. TI fighting for it, and it's going to be taken by Byrne. Byrne bringing it out, and she couldn't get it across the blue line. Minnesota keeps it in. Wolf knocks it down with a nice play. She whiffs on the puck, though. There's a shot, and there's so Wolf had it. She tried to get it across, whiffed on the puck, Minnesota player took a shot from the far side. Geiger had a save, but the rebound went right onto a Minnesota player's stick, and she banged it home with 1:28 to go in the game. Minnesota goes up by a goal, 3-2. So Cantwell, Murphy, and Peterson with Troncozo and Bowles back on defense. And puck is in the TI zone now, played up the near wall. TI desperately trying to get something going now. And now it's Troncozo. She again calling her name about 50 times this game. And the puck goes down into the Minnesota zone. And now it's kept in. There's a play back down. TI working it, but they lose it. And under a minute to play now. Minnesota trying to get it out. They get it to center ice. It's Troncozo. Here she goes, and she lifts it back down. 45 seconds to go. Minnesota has it. They lift it high off the wall. Troncozo has it, but it has to come out to neutral ice. She's looking. She tries to spin it in. Minnesota has it now with 35 seconds to go for the game. TI has it at the neutral zone. Now TI is going to gain the Minnesota line. That's Bogdan. 25 seconds to go. Behind the Minnesota cage now. TI trying to control it. 20 seconds to go. Here's the finish. And Troncozo's there. TI with an extra skater trying to get something going, but they can't. Puck's at neutral ice with 10 seconds left. There's a hook. Come on, ref, call that. And the puck is down into the TI zone with 5 seconds left. That's going to do it for the game. So definitely some improvements from the first game, and an unfortunate turn of events, which put a puck on a rebound on the Minnesota player's stick right at the end, sealed that. So second game of the season against Minnesota White up in Fox Valley. The final score, Minnesota 3, TI 2. We had goals in that game from...
Who do we have goals from? I think we had a goal from Bogdan, and the second goal, maybe it was it Ruby Jane? I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was Ruby Jane on a breakaway.
Yep.
So, better game. That last rebound, like I said, went right on the stick of the Minnesota player. So we're back here tomorrow. We're going to do a better job learning everybody's names. It'll be more smooth, more cohesive.
And a shout out to our camera woman. She did a great job. So thank you. We'll see you guys tomorrow.